So in this video, I'm going to give you a little help with your homework tonight. So it says in number 1 that we can transform z to z prime by translating it and then performing a dilation. Find the translation rule and the scale factor of the dilation. So if we go from z to z prime, we have to go right 9, and you can just count the boxes on the graph to figure that out, and then down 7 units to go from z to z prime. So write that the same way we did when we learned translations a few days ago, and put right 9 would be x plus 9, and then down 7 would be y, let me get my pen to work right, y minus 7. Alright, so then for the scale factor, let's erase this part about translating and think of scale factor. So scale factor, you want to compare the radius of the circle. So I'm going to zoom in just a little so I can draw better. So the radius of circle Z is 3. Again, just count the boxes. And then the radius of Z prime is 7. Again, just count the boxes. And then you can tell that Z to Z prime means it was enlarged. And so your scale factor, which we call R, would have to be greater than 1. So do 7 divided by 3. And you can either leave it that way or make it into a mixed number, which would be 2 1/3. Either way. And so then write out the rule that you would have a scale factor of 2 1/3, or let's just say 7, and I don't need to put an equal sign there. Let me make that better, into an arrow, is 7/3, and then it gets multiplied by our translation. So this will help us to start working with composition of transformations. So it was translated and then it was dilated, and so our final algebraic rule would be this one at the bottom. Alright, so number 2 is a triangle problem. It says we can transform triangle XYZ to our image by translating it and then performing a dilation centered at the origin. So if you want to translate it and it's centered at the origin, then we need to compare z to z prime, since that one is sitting at the origin. So to go from z to z prime, z is located at -9 and z prime is at 0. So that means it shifts to the right 9. And then it goes up from -5 to 0, so it has to go up 5. Again, to go right and up, it would get from z to z prime by translating. And so let's write the algebraic rule just for that translation. Right 9 means we had to add 9 to every x, and then up 5 means we have to add 5 to the y values. And now, let's do the dilation part. So if it dilated, you could pick out the height of this triangle was 4, and the height of this triangle, the image, is 8. And so it definitely got larger, so we have a scale factor of R equals 8/4, which we can certainly reduce to just be at 2. So I want you to practice writing your algebraic rule that would combine all of that. And I don't know why I keep trying to put an equal sign. We need an arrow. So it's now 2 times, and then we translated, so put the translated rule that you just wrote down in those parentheses. And like I say, this is going to help us get started with composing transformations. Like, in other words, there's 2 things that happen. So we first translated and then dilated, and we write it all together for that second rule. Alright, so I hope this helps you with your homework. One last thing on the homework is on number 8. Do not worry about the scale factor for that one. Only translate number 8. No scale factor, because what you would need to find this one out, we will not need for our sake in math 2. But the others should work very similar to what I did with number 1 and 2 just now. Hope this helps.